Hey everyone, welcome. So today we're going to talk about something I think a lot of us can relate to. Those really frustrating, just confusing behaviors you might run into with a neighbor. We're going to build a kind of practical guide to help make sense of it all. So, let me ask you this. Ever get that feeling that your neighbor is playing by a completely different set of rules? Where the basics of courtesy and logic just don't seem to apply at all. If you're nodding along right now, trust me, you are so not alone.
All right, let's dive right in. Look, dealing with this kind of stuff, these baffling actions, it can feel incredibly isolating, right? You start questioning yourself, thinking, wait, am I the one overreacting here? But I want to be clear, that confusion you're feeling, it's a totally normal response to a very real pattern of behavior.
Okay, now a really important note before we go any further. This is not about diagnosing anyone, all right? What we're doing here is using our source material to help us identify and understand a specific pattern of behavior. And trust me, just getting a handle on this framework, it can bring a ton of clarity. It can be a real game changer.
So, the source material we're looking at describes this pattern using the term sociopathic traits. Now, just think of it as a behavioral model. It's really centered on three things: a serious lack of empathy, a habit of breaking boundaries, and a whole lot of manipulation. And it's all driven by this one core belief: only my feelings matter. So, let's see what that actually looks like in the real world.
Okay, so the first big theme we see is this idea of one rule for them. And we're not just talking about being a little selfish here. No, this is a fundamental worldview, this deep-seated belief that they are above everyone else. And yeah, above every single rule. And this shows up as a trait of just extreme entitlement. It's this unshakable belief that they are owed special treatment, that the world should literally bend to their will. It's like their core operating principle. It's just how they're wired. And this quote, it just perfectly captures that internal monologue. I mean, can you imagine actually thinking this? I can do whatever I want, and it's up to everyone else to adjust to me? Wow. That one singular idea, it explains so much of the behavior that we're going to see.
And this is exactly how it shows up in day-to-day life. I mean, does any of this sound familiar? They'll throw their trash into your yard, but then absolutely lose it if a single leaf from your tree lands on their side. Or they make a ton of noise at all hours, but demand complete silence from you. It's just a world of total contradictions.
Right. And this hypocrisy is absolutely key. The rules they have for you are the very same rules they break themselves. And what's wild is they often do it without a shred of self-awareness. You have to park perfectly, but they feel totally fine blocking your gate. It's the ultimate double standard, plain and simple. Which brings us to our second big theme, this deep emotional disconnect. I mean, you have to wonder, how is this kind of behavior even possible? Well, it's rooted in a profound lack of feeling, specifically a total absence of empathy and remorse. Zero. That's it. That's the amount of guilt or empathy they feel after causing a problem. According to our source material, they don't register it. They don't care about the impact their actions have on anyone else. It's like it doesn't even exist to them. So what does this actually look like in practice? Well, they might gossip about or even mock a neighbor who's sick. They will never apologize for damage they cause, ever. Instead, they'll just flip it back on you, saying something like, "What's the big deal? You're being way too sensitive." And what's really chilling is that they might actually get some kind of satisfaction from seeing that you're stressed out. Okay, and this brings us to the active strategies, because this isn't just passive behavior, not at all. We're talking about a full-on playbook of manipulative tactics, and they're all designed to do one thing: control you, create drama, and keep you totally off balance. And one of the most powerful and honestly most confusing tactics in this whole playbook is playing the victim. It's a real head spinner. This is a strategy where the person who causes the problem somehow, masterfully, recasts themselves as the one who's actually suffering. So here's how it works. It's a three-step process. Step 1, they provoke. They do something to intentionally get a reaction out of you. Step 2, you react, like any normal human being would. And then step 3, they take your completely normal reaction, they run to other people, and they use it as proof, saying, see how rude and unreasonable they are? It's an incredible move because it makes your valid reaction look like the original problem, and it completely erases what they did to provoke you in the first place. Gossip is another huge tool in their arsenal, but we have to be clear. This is used strategically. We're not talking about idle chatter here. This is gossip as a weapon. It's used to spread rumors, to twist stories, and the goal is always to isolate you, damage your reputation, and basically control the entire narrative in the neighborhood. And, of course, all of this, every single bit of it, is built on a complete and total disregard for your boundaries. We're talking about snooping, interfering in your personal life, literally walking onto your property uninvited. They just don't see or respect the lines that separate their life from yours. So, let's put all these pieces together, right? You've got the extreme entitlement, the total lack of empathy, and all the manipulative tactics. What's the core mindset that ties this whole package together? Well, our source material just nails it with this one powerful line. The core mindset is this: only their comfort matters, and everybody else, well, everyone else is just an object. You're a tool to be used for their benefit, a scapegoat to be blamed when things go wrong, or just a pawn to be manipulated in their game. And that really brings us to our final thought here. Look, the goal of all of this isn't to run around sticking labels on people. It's to give you a framework, a lens, to understand a really confusing pattern of behavior. So the question I want to leave you with is this. Now that you can see the playbook, now that you understand the game, how does this clarity change your perspective?